D-Lo 404 Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to Marlo's Corner. If you hadn't subbed to Marlo's Corner, go over there and subscribe to Marlo's Corner, as well as subscribing to Marlo's Corner 2. That's the new channel that Marlo started up earlier this week. And they're going to be going live on fight nights on that channel, doing live streams. Okay, so this morning, the main event on the zone card, which was the finale or the final of the I don't even know the division off the top of my head, but anyway, the fight with Monster Inoue and Nonito Donaire went down. Donaire, who we've seen, coming into this fight, has looked a shell of himself pretty much since the Regendow fight. Donaire came in, kind of like had revitalized his career somewhat, got his buzz back going again. But a lot of people expected him to come into this fight and get dominated. A lot of people were saying, he's going to get stopped, etc., etc. Myself, I picked Donaire to upset Inoue. I felt like he had the power to potentially stop him. I knew Donaire, being the bigger fighter, would rehydrate and come in, rehydrate bigger and come in looking like the bigger fighter. He looked significantly bigger in the ring. He was fresh. I felt like he was outworking Inoue in spots. I felt like when it comes to the hurt department, he was putting in some hurt on Inoue. They call Inoue the monster. I don't see a monster I didn't see any monster in that fight. I saw him come on strong late. He had some spots in there where he actually hurt Donaire. But if you ask me who most, I think Donaire hurt him more times. And I also felt like there was a point in the fight where Donaire was about, very close to getting him out of there. Donaire was dropped. I think it was in the 10th or 11th round. He got up at the very last second and was able to continue. And he put up a gallant effort to make it to the final bell and actually never stopped trying to win the fight. So I have to take my hat off to him. I'm not very high. I wasn't high on Inoue coming into this fight. If anything, I have a little more respect for him for overcoming adversity, especially at home, overcoming that adversity and finding a way to gut it out and defending his title and getting to the or defending his position as the top guy, perceived top guy in the division, and making it to the final bell and getting a decision win. That said, I know what my expectation was, but to the masses, the expectation was that this guy was head and shoulders over everyone else down there and that he would just whitewash them there. I know two of the judges' scorecards had it wide. One judge had it 114, 113 for Inoue. Basically was essentially a draw in terms of rounds, but Inoue getting the nod, getting the extra point for the knockdown. And that's essentially how I saw the fight. I felt like it was a very close fight, nip and tuck, back and forth affair, rough and tumble. And I felt like Donaire was putting the early rounds in the bag. And then Inoue he would go on and win like 2 rounds, and then it kind of went back and forth. Donaire would win 2, Inoue win 1, and then Inoue, would start back taking over. So it was just a fight in which you had 2 guys that really laid it all out on the line and left it all in the ring. But one guy was perceived to be a pound-for-pound top fighter in the sport, and another guy we already know is on his way out of the sport. And he's nowhere near his prime and nowhere near his best. And he was able to hang in there and give this young guy a life and death affair. Inoue was bleeding from the eye, the nose, and I know blood doesn't necessarily mean that you're losing a fight. But my point is that it was that tough a fight. Both guys took a lot of punishment from one another. A very good fight, very good fight. Very few lulls in action. Those guys, they went to war. And it was a treat to watch it. And like I said, when it comes to Inoue, yes, it's a fight that he overcame adversity, but to me, it tells me that this guy isn't on the level that they try to paint him as being on. And I'm interested to see how they move him next, because a lot of times when these guys just barely escape a fight where were supposed to go in and shine like a diamond, a lot of times they're very cautious as to how they move them next after that. So I'm interested to see what happens. Interested to see what happens with Donaire, whether he continues his career, what weight class he decides to campaign in, and what he does next with his career. I think Donaire may have earned himself a few more paydays with this performance, and I think in a way he could very well come away from this fight with more questions than answers, but it could be the opposite. But that's all I got to say on the subject. It's D-Lo 404 Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. Shout out to Marlo's Corner. I'm out. Peace.